Sharon Catania.
You now raise your right hand and be sworn. You solemnly swear to affirm to tell the whole truth, but nothing but the truth to the best of your knowledge.
I do.
Please be seated.
For the record, would you state your name?
Sharon Catania,
Where do you live?
Munster, Indiana.
With whom?
My family.
Okay. And who are you? What is your family made up of?
My husband Ron, my son Christian, and my daughter Gina. All Catanias.
Are you employed?
Yes, I am.
By whom?
Franciscan Alliance through Franciscan Healthcare Munster currently.
And what is your job title or designation?
I'm the Human Resources Director.
And how long have you occupied that position?
I've been in this current HR Director role since 2009, and I've been with Franciscan Alliance since 1998.
Do any of your family members have any medical condition or conditions for which they sought treatment from Dr. Patel?
Yes.
Who?
My daughter Gina has allergies and recurrent and goes for allergy shots. And then my son Christian saw him a few times.
Within the last 5 months, have you received any telephone calls directed to your home to either your daughter or your son from Dr. Patel?
Yes.
Can you tell us under what circumstances?
The first call was received on June 28th, and it was a missed call. I wasn't there when the phone rang. I was in the house, but I missed the call. And there was some issues that I was expecting some phone calls from people, so I went ahead. I have a phone that you can dial back. It shows the phone number on there. So I dialed it back, and I said how you were trying to reach the Catania residence, and it was Dr. Patel, and he said, "Oh, this is Sanjay Patel. I was calling to let you know I'm at a new location." I'm not sure if it's the same order, but just of the conversation. I'm calling to see if Christian needs any follow-up care. And I said, "No, he doesn't." He says, "Well, just let you know I'm at a new location. Do you need the phone number?" And I said, "No, that's okay." And then he said, "Well, if you do, you can reach me through Community's website if he needs any additional care." And I said, "Okay, thank you." And that was it.
And the date of this was?
June 28th.
After that telephone call, did you receive any other telephone calls with regard to anyone in your household from Dr. Patel?
Yes, I received another voicemail message, which I actually have recorded and brought with me if you want to hear it. It was in August. I have the exact date on the recording. And it was, again, Dr. Sanjay Patel. He introduced himself and left a message asking if my daughter Gina Catania needed any care to let us know he's at a new location, and then he left his phone number.
And have you brought that recorded phone message with you today?
Yes, I did.
And do you have it available?
It's in my purse.
Okay, I'm not going to go in your purse.
Okay.
If you would. Can you cue that recording up for us, please, so we can hear it?
Sure. Let me see if it'll play right here.
Received on Thursday, August 8th at 4:27 p.m. This message is for Gina Catania. Gina, this is Dr. Sanjay Patel. We know Gina as my doctor. I was also let you know that I'm at the new office location. So if you need follow-up and further treatment, you can call the new office at 219-513-8923, 219-513-8923. Look forward to seeing you, Gina. If that's okay, take care. Bye.
Thank you. And what did you record that message from?
My home phone. This is just a recorder. I put it on the table and recorded it.
Thank you. That's all the questions I have.
Russ?
After you received the call from Dr. Patel relating to your son, what's the next thing that you did with respect to that call?
I didn't do anything for a few weeks because I was actually out on PTO and kind of a leave at that point. When I came back, I emailed Barb Green, who's my boss and president of our hospital, and Jean Diamond, who's our regional CEO, because Barb was on vacation. So I emailed them just letting them know that I received the call. I thought it was kind of strange, and I emailed them. That's it.
Why did you think it was strange?
Because a doctor doesn't normally call a patient's home directly. So I thought that was strange that usually it's the doctor's office that calls.
Okay. And so you thought the next thing to do, because of the strangeness of this, was to notify the CEO of your employer?
Right. Well, I was aware that Dr. Patel was not staying with medical specialists at the time, so I thought they would be interested in knowing that he was contacting my children as patients.
How old are your children?
My children are, right now, I think 17 and 19.
Okay. Who's 17 and who's 19?
Gina is 17 and Christian is 19.
Christian was an adult at the time that you received the call?
Yes.
Did you ever ask Christian whether or not he wanted to continue to treat with Dr. Patel?
No.
The next thing that you thought of to do after you received a call from your son's doctor is to notify the CEO of your company?
No, let me just, actually what I did that day when I got off the phone with Dr. Patel in June, Christian was in the room with me. So I talked to him about it at the time, saying that, the doctor called here directly, looking to see if you need any care. So I guess I'm confused as far as what time frame you're looking at, and then I told my husband also.
Well, I guess I'm confused too. You recall when I took your deposition on August 27th, roughly, 2013? Mm-hmm. And I was there, and I believe Ms. Santakos was there?
I remember the deposition.
You remember the deposition?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, it's going to take me a minute to look. I asked you these questions and you gave me these answers, and just tell me if I'm reading this correctly.
I guess I'll object. You haven't laid a foundation for any impeachment.
Well, you indicated to me, right, that you talked to Christian about Dr. Patel.
No, I talked to
After you received it, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I forgot to start. Well, what happened in the deposition, you asked me if I ever asked Christian if he wanted to continue care with Dr. Patel, and I did not. We never discussed his care.
I'm just asking you, after you got the call from Dr. Patel relating to Christian, did you ask Christian or have any conversations with Christian as to whether he wishes to continue treating with Dr. Patel?
No.
You did?
No, I did not.
All right. And the same with Gina. Did you have any conversations with Gina about whether she wished to continue treating with Dr. Patel?
No, I did not.
Okay. Instead, you called Barb Green and Jean Diamond.
Well, my call, or not call, I emailed, because Barb was out, I emailed them from a more professional standpoint than a patient-related standpoint to let them know that I was being contacted on a personal basis at home by a physician that I knew was not coming on board with Franciscan Alliance.
Okay. And I was confused. It wasn't a call, it was an email.
It was an email, and it was done after I returned to work from being off for several weeks.
Okay. And did either one of them instruct you to record the conversation or the message that was left on your phone for Gina?
No, I did that on my own just because I was afraid it was going to go away. Like the caller ID doesn't stay there forever, and I wasn't sure about the length of the voicemail.
That's all the questions I have. Thanks.
Nothing on redirect.
Man, thank you, you may step down.
Call Amy Harnu.
Okay.
And you want to raise your right hand and be sworn? And be sworn?
No?
Yes. Do you solemnly swear affirm, tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, I do.
Please be seated.
Will you state your name for the record, please?
Amy Harnu,
And is it Miss or Mrs.?
Miss.
Where do you live?
Crumpwin, Indiana.
Are you currently employed?
Yes.
And by whom are you employed?
Pulmonology and Allergy Associates.
And where is Pulmonology and Allergy Associates located?
In Munster,
Can you give us the street address?
1650 45th Street.
And how long has Pulmonary and Allergy Associates been located at that address?
Since July 1st.
And have you been employed by them since July 1st?
Yes, I have.
Did you commence your employment with Pulmonary and Allergy Associates before July 1st?
No.
Were you working there on June 27th and June 28th?
Yes, I was.
Now, before you went to work for Pulmonary and Allergy Associates, were you employed by Franciscan Medical Specialists?
Yes, I was.
And did you have a job title or designation there?
Yes.
And what was that?
I was a medical assistant. Number 2. They had different levels.
And before Franciscan Medical Specialists, were you employed by medical specialists?
Yes, I thought so. But my checks came from FCCI.
Okay. And did you have a job title for them?
Medical assistant.
Okay. And what exactly is a medical assistant, Ms. Harney?
We do patient care. I know that was vague last time. It's vitaling patients, monitoring patient medication, basic stuff like that.
Now, are there physicians who practice at Pulmonary and Allergy Associates?
Yes.
And can you give us their names, please?
Dr. Leos, Dr. Sethi, and Dr. Patel.
And do you know whether or not each of those physicians also round to the hospital?
I don't know where or when.
Okay. Do you know if Dr. Laos goes to the hospital?
Yes.
Do you know if he goes to a community hospital?
Yes.
Do you know if Dr. Sethi rounds a community hospital?
Yes.
Now, when And do you know whether, at or about the time that you started, on June 27th or June 28th, you became aware of a handwritten list of patients?
Yes.
And do you know whether that handwritten list of patients that you became aware of on June 27th or June 28th was in Dr. Laus's hand?
I don't know. I know it was in the cabinet. That's all that I
Okay.
know.
Was it in his handwriting?
Yes.
And you had worked for Dr. Laus previously at Medical Specialists, had you not?
Yes, I did.
And you followed Dr. Laus to Pulmonary and Allergy Associates, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And did that handwritten list of patients in Dr. Laus's name contain their name and their telephone number?
It wasn't in Dr. Leos's name. It was just a list of patients with their name and their phone number.
Okay, and the list that was handwritten, you identified as written by Dr. Laus, is that correct?
Yes.
And then, when you became aware of that list, did you do anything with it?
Yes. I took it to my desk and I reviewed it.
Okay? And after you reviewed it, did you then make any contact with any of the patients that appeared on the list?
Yes, I did on July 1st.
Okay. And did you call patients at the telephone number that was listed on that list?
Yes, I did.
And how many of the individuals that were listed on the list were you able to call?
I have no idea.
Have you called all of them?
Most of them, yes.
Okay. Now, I'm looking at the list, and it appears to me that there are 97 names, but in order to make sure, excuse me, yes. This is you. And let me show you what's been marked for identification as exhibit number U. And why don't you take a look at that for a couple of minutes and just look at it silently to yourself.
Yeah.
Have you seen exhibit U before?
No.
Your Honor,
We take a
5-minute recess. And, we were literally just handed these lists before we walked back in. There apparently is some clarification that